0 0 0. So from that equation we will get a is equal to 0, 2a minus b plus 2c is equal to 0, a minus b plus 3c is equal to 0, a minus b plus 3c minus d is equal to 0, and minus 2a plus c plus 2d is equal to 0. To solve these four equations we have to use matrix. So here is the augmented matrix 1 0 0 0 0, 2 minus 1 2 0 0, 1 minus 1 3 minus 1 0, and minus 2 0 1 2 0. We convert this matrix into row echelon form. So we multiply first row with minus 2 and add into second row. Again we multiply first row with minus 1 and add into third row, and we multiply first row with 2 and add into fourth row. So all the first entries of the second, third and fourth row become 0. So 1 0 0 0 0, 0 minus 1 2 0 0, 0 minus 1 3 minus 1 0, and 0 0 1 2 0. Next process, we multiply second row with minus 1 and add into third row. So that second element of the third row become 0. So 1 0 0 0 0, 0 minus 1 2 0 0, 0 0 1 minus 1 0, and 0 0 1 2 0. Next process, we multiply third row with minus 1 and add into fourth row. So the third element of the fourth row become 0. So 1 0 0 0 0, 0 minus 1 2 0 0, 0 0 1 minus 1 0, and the next fourth row is 0 0 0 3 0. Okay, you can see on the screen and try to understand. So now this matrix is in row echelon form. Clearly the leading entry, below the leading entry all the elements are 0. What is the leading entry of the first row? 1. Below that leading entry all the entries are 0. What is the leading entry in second row? Minus 1. Below that leading entry all the entries are 0. What is the leading entry in third row? 1. All the that below the that leading entry is 0. Okay, so clearly this matrix is in row echelon form. So now you can easily find the coefficients a, b, c, d. So we will get this equation: a is already 0, a is equal to 0, minus b plus 2c is equal to 0, c minus d is equal to 0, and 3d is equal to 0. Now a is equal to 0, b is equal to 0, c is equal to 0, and d is equal to 0. Okay, so S is linearly independent set. Now we already checked that S is linearly independent set. So again we use the previous theorem. The dimension of set of 2 cross 2 matrix is equal to 4, and S contains 4 elements. So using known theorem, S spans set of 2 cross 2 matrices automatically, and hence S is a basis for set of 2 cross 2 matrix. Okay, clear? So this theorem is easy to check that the given set is basis or not. Also this theorem, previous theorem, is also check the given set is spans or not, spans a vector space V or not. You can see we seen some previous example. Let's see this example: spans, the examples of spans. You can see these examples: v1 v2 v3. What we have to do? 2 minus 1 3, 4 1 2, 8 minus 1 8 spans vector space V or not. Okay, or spans these 3 vectors spans R3 or not. What is our method? Using, by definition, we are starting from any vector of R3 and try to find a, b, c in term of x, y, z. If we will not get a, b, c in term of x, y, z, we can say that the given 3 vectors does not spans R3. This is the first example we already seen in the starting of this lecture. But you can also check the given sets spans R3 or not using the linearly independence, because of if these three vectors is linearly independent, that means what? Clearly these three vectors are from R3. If these three vectors are linearly independent, so using that theorem automatically it spans R3 and it is a basis of R3. Okay, so you can also check determinant. If the determinant of this three vector is 0, definitely this three vector does not span R3, and if determinant of this three vector is non-zero, that means it is linearly independent, then this three vector spans R3. You can check. See, 2 minus 1 3, 4 1 2. What is here? V1 is equal to 2 minus 1 3, V2 is equal to 4 1 2, and V3 is equal to 8 minus 1 8. So what is determinant? 2 minus 1 3, 4 1 2, 8 minus 1 8. You can check the determinant, that is 2 into 8 plus 2 plus 1 into 32 minus 16 plus 3 into minus 4 minus 8. So that is equal to 8 plus 2 10, 10 into 2 20, 32 minus 16, that is 16 into 1 16, and this is minus 12 into 3 minus 36. So 20 plus 16 minus 36, that is equal to 0. That means what? These three vectors are linearly dependent. These three vectors are linearly dependent. That means this three vector does not spans R3. So also you can check this example by using the determinant, which is very simple method. Okay, using that previous theorem. So next topic is coordinates. Coordinates relative to a basis. Here is the definition. Let the set S V1 V2 up to Vn be an order basis for a vector space V. Now this is a basis. That means what? Any vector in V can be expressed as a linear combination of that n vectors, because S is a basis. Okay, already S is a basis. That means what? Using the definition of basis, any vector in vector space V can be expressed as linear combination of V1 V2 up to Vn. Okay, so and V small v is in capital V, vector space V. The coordinates of V relative to a basis S are scalars C1 C2 up to Cn, and such that V can be expressed as C1 V1 plus C2 V2 up to Cn Vn. It is denoted by, in this bracket, this is a coordinate relative to a basis in bracket C1 C2 up to Cn. Okay, so this is nothing but just a linear combination with basis vectors V1 V2 up to Vn. And what are the scalars? That is a coordinates relative to a basis. Let's see one or two example. This is the first example. We have V1 is 1 2 1, V2 is 2 9 0, V3 is 3 3 4. First of all, show that S is a basis of R3. So that is our first job to do, and find the coordinates of V with respect to S. So clearly we can check determinant, because these three vectors are from R3 and we have exactly three vectors. So we can check determinant 1 2 1, 2 9 0, 3 3 4, that is equal to minus 1. You can see on the screen. So minus 1 is the value of the determinant, that is non-zero. So clearly S is linearly independent. So now dimension of R3 is equal to 3. and S contains 3 vectors. So using the known theorem, using the previous theorem, S spans R3 automatically and S become basis of vector space R3. Now next job, we have to find the coordinate relative to a basis. So we are starting with V is equal to C1 V1 plus C2 V2 plus C3 V3, and we try to find C1 C2 C3. So C1 V1 plus C2 V2 up C3 V3, that is equal to 5 minus 1 9. So C1 into 1 2 1 plus C2 into 2 9 0 plus C3 into 3 3 4, that is equal to 5 minus 1 9. So C1 plus 2 C2 plus 3 C3 is equal to 5. 2 C1 plus 9 C2 plus 3 C3 is equal to minus 1, and C1 plus 4 C3 is equal to 9. So from that equation we will get augmented matrix 1 2 3 5 2 9 3 minus 1 and 1 0 4 9. We convert this matrix into row echelon form. So we multiply first row with minus 2 and add into second row. We multiply first row with minus 1 and add into third row. So here is the next process. Okay, so 1 2 3 5 0 5 minus 3 minus 11 0 minus 2 1 4. So the first element of the second row and the first element of the third row both become 0. Now next process, in second row what is the leading entry? In second row 5. So we have to make that one 1. So we multiply with 1 by 5. So we second row with multiply with 1 by 5. So 1 2 3 5 0 1 minus 3 by 5 minus 11 by 5. Okay, and third row is as it is 0 minus 2 1 4. Now next process is we multiply second row with 2 and add into third row. So here is the next process, 1 2 3 5 0 1 minus 3 by 5 minus 11 by 5 0 0 minus 1 by 5 minus 2 by 5. Now this matrix is in row echelon form. You can see that leading entry in the first row is 1, below that leading entry are 0, leading entry in the second row is also 1, below that leading entry is 0, and the third row is also have a leading entry. So from this matrix we will get this equation, C1 plus 2 C2 plus 3 C3 is equal to 5 C2 5 C2 minus 3 C3 is equal to minus 11, minus C3 is equal to minus 2, C1 is equal to 1, C2 is equal to minus 1, C3 is equal to 2. So the coordinates relative to a basis is 1 minus 1 2. Okay, here is the theorem. Let S be a finite set of vectors in a finite dimensional vector space V. If S spans V but is not a basis for V, then S can be reduced to a basis for V by removing appropriate vectors from S. And the second statement is, if S is linearly independent set but is not basis for V, then S can be enlarged to a basis for V by inserting appropriate vectors into S. We will use this theorem to solve some examples, some very good examples, but we will see next time. So thank you so much. Goodbye.